would be on the court and Donald Sterling would be sitting at courtside with one of his female acquaintances spewing all kinds of rhetoric in his direction. So to say that it's a surprise, I'm not going to go that far, but at the same time, to consider the fact that he is an owner in the league, that you've got such a reputable individual like Chris Paul as the star of your team, along with Blake Griffin, when you've handed over pretty much control of basketball operations to a Doc Rivers, and to hear that you're spewing this kind of rhetoric is obviously appalling. It's very disturbing, and there's no doubt about it that the league itself, Adam Silver specifically, has to take action. It's not something that you can leave up to the Clippers organization. As a matter of fact, I've spoken to a couple of people within the Clippers organization over the last few hours, and they're hoping that Adam Silver, the commissioner, steps in and handles this appropriately, to be quite honest with you.
With the folks that you've talked to inside of that organization, this Clippers team in the midst of the postseason, what are you hearing about how they're going to be handling this?
Oh, first of all, they're furious. Let's get that out of the way first. I mean, they are absolutely livid. They're appalled. I don't know what they would say or do to this man, Donald Sterling, their owner, if he was in front of their face at this particular juncture. According to one player, I was actually told within the hour that players were considering actually not playing, not themselves, but their family members, their confidants, their loved ones were encouraging them to take a stand and not to play. A matter of fact, one of the things that they've heard is that obviously if this was something of a gay slur or what have you, it would have been obviously something that was reported and you would see people taking a stand. So obviously they're being pressured under that guise alone in terms of being a unified front and taking a position that, you know what, maybe you shouldn't participate in these games. But that's obviously not something that's going to happen, because as one player told me, you know something, when we dreamed of competing for a championship, we certainly didn't dream of winning it for Donald Sterling. We dreamed of winning it for ourselves. So I just think it's emotions of the moment right now, but there is no doubt that they are livid, to say the least. I'm not going to say physically hostile, but emotionally, spiritually, verbally hostile. They are not pleased at all. It's embarrassing, it's uncomfortable, and it's highly, highly offensive. And if it's highly offensive to their loved ones, their family members, their friends, their confidants, you can best believe it's highly offensive to them. That's the attitude that they have to deal with right now, because it's something that's permeated their entire locker room, and it's something that the coach, Doc Rivers, from what I'm being told, is scheduled to meet with the team a little bit later on today, have a team meeting to try to get them prepared tomorrow, because they know they've got a game to win. I have not spoken to Doc Rivers, but the players that I've spoken to, they've had this kind of mentality. They're pretty ticked off.
Stephen A., you've touched on that the players and the folks in that organization hope that the commissioner, Adam Silver, is going to handle this and take care of it. And the NBA is obviously investigating what's going on here. If that tape is authenticated, what can or will the league do about it?
Well, first of all, not only do they anticipate that the tape will be authenticated, from what they're hearing, there may be additional tapes, one or two additional tapes scheduled to come out within the next few days or so. That's number one. I don't know how much truth there is to that. I just know what I've been told. Secondly, and more importantly, I think that they want the heavy hand of the commissioner to come down hard upon Donald Sterling in the same fashion that it would come down hard upon a player or a coach if they were in such violation of things, not just from a league policy perspective, but from a humane perspective, from a decency perspective. They want a heavy hand brought down to them. Now, some people have to recognize that the commissioner, in essence, to some degree anyway, answers to the owners. The owners make up the board of governors. They're the ones that pay the commissioner's salary. So anytime we talk about what can be done about an owner, yeah, you can, go about the business of trying to force them to sell the team or what have you. And I think in a perfect world, all of these players would definitely co-sign with that. Their confidants, loved one, family members, I can tell you that's how they feel. They'd like Donald Sterling to be gone. But there are people in Los Angeles, long before the Los Angeles Clippers were actual championship contenders, that wanted Donald Sterling gone a long time ago. They felt that, his leadership was just pathetic, and they wanted him gone, and it was never successful before. So I have a hard time believing you'd be able to pull that off now. But you just never know when something this incendiary presents itself. Anything is possible right now. It's just going to be interesting to see how Adam Silver Silver handles this, because people believe they could have predicted how somebody like Commissioner Stern would handle this. This is a perfect opportunity, according to another source that I had spoken to, for Adam Silver to step up to the plate and to show that a new day has arrived. The new commissioner is in town, and he is more than capable of handling the task at hand. So we'll see what happens.